Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. We will begin the service shortly. If you have a cell phone, if you could please put it on silent. Or if you are joining us en route to the cemetery to Pardes Shalom, we will be going north on Bathurst to Teston Road, which we will turn left on Teston to Dufferin, and we'll go north on Dufferin to the cemetery. If you are able to join us in the lineup on Ava Road, we can flag your cars, and then you can join in the procession from there. We do have extra lead cars to assist getting the entire procession down to the cemetery. Thank you.
Adonai Adam Vatedahehu Ben Enosh Vatechashvehu Adam lahevel dama Yamav kitzel over Baboker yatzitz v'chalav La'erev yemolel v'yavesh Tashev enosh hadaka Vatomer shuvu v'nei Adam Lu chachmu yaskilu zot Yavinu la'acharitam Ki lo v'moto yikach hakol Lo yerer acharav kivodo Shmortam urei yashar Ki acharit li shalom Podei Adonai nefesh avadav V'lo yeshmu Kol hachosim bo
Adonai ma Adam v'tedaehu, what are we that you have regard for us? What are we that you are mindful of us? We are like a breath, our days pass away like a shadow. We come and go like grass, which in the morning shoots up renewed, and in the evening fades and withers. You cause us to turn to dust, saying, Return, O mortal creatures. Would that we were wise, that we understood where we are going. For when we die, we carry nothing away. Our glory does not accompany us. Mark the wholehearted and behold the upright. They shall have peace. Adonai, you redeem the souls of your servants, those who are faithful to you, and none who trust in you shall be desolate.
Esenai el hecharim me'ayin yavo Ezri me'im Adonai Ose shamayim Va'aretz Aiten Lamot raglecha Hayanum Shomrecha Hine lo yanum v'lo yishan Shomer Yisrael Adonai Shomrecha Adonai tzilcha yad yeminecha Yomam hashemesh lo yakeka V'yareach balayla Adonai yishmorcha mikol ra, yishmor et nafshecha. Adonai yishmor tzeitcha uvoecha me'ata me'ata ve'ad olam.
I lift my eyes to the mountains. What is the source of my help? My help comes from Adonai, maker of heaven and earth. God will not let your foot give way. Your protector will not slumber. See, the guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps.
God is your shomer now. God is your guardian, God your protection at your right hand. And the sun will no longer strike you by day, nor the moon by night. No, God will guard you. God will guard you from all harm. God will guard your soul in your going, in your coming, now, forever.
Hanistarot l'Adonai Eloheinu, v'haniglot lanu levanenu ad olam. Mysteries are revealed only to God, but some truths are known to us and to our children. The mysteries of life and death are beyond human understanding. We are perplexed and overwhelmed when pain and anguish befall those whom we love. In sorrow, confronted by death, which has taken Cantor, Benjamin, Ze'ev, Maissner from our midst, we feel our own frailty. Like delicate flowers, we flourish only for a day. Eternal God, Shepherd of Israel, guide us, your flock, and with love and with compassion. If in our grief and our desolation we might stray from you, do not abandon us, but draw us closer to you. Grant solace and comfort unto those who mourn this day. May their lives together help to sustain them and add to the blessing which is theirs in the memory of the life of their beloved Benny. In the valley of the shadow of death and beside the still waters and in the green pastures, you, O God, are our shepherd. Be our strength and our shield, our stay and our comfort throughout all our days. Chaim Nachman Bialik wrote a little poem about a lover of music and a lover of life. A simple poem about a simple approach when death finally comes. Acharei moti sifdu kachali, haya ish, ure'u einenu od, kodem zmano met ha'ish hazeh, v'shirat chayav be'emtza nifseka. V'tzar, od mizmor echad hayalo, v'hine avad hamizmor la'ad. After my death, mourn me like this. There was a man, and see, he is no more. Before his time, his life was ended, and the song of his life was broken. Oh, how he had one more melody. And alas, now that melody is gone forever. Cantor Maissner often repeated the wisdom of Rabbi Marmer, less is more. And especially when it comes to funeral services, Cantor Maissner would keep it very simple. He felt it was a time for restraint and for quietude. So forgive us, dear Benny, sweet singer of Israel, because we can't keep it quite so simple today. out of the thousands of melodies that you taught us, out of the millions of notes that you sang for us, out of all the prayers that are embedded in the walls of this sanctuary, we have chosen just a few to stand for the whole. Hechazan Binyamin Ze'ev ben Yitzchak Halevi v'Rivka Chaya was an Ohev Yisrael. He was a lover of the land of Israel, a lover of the state of Israel, and most of all, a lover of the people of Israel. Part of what it means to be an Ohev Yisrael is to pray constantly for the well-being of the Jewish people, to see yourself as one who has the power to protect through your prayer. Once a year, in the mysterious late-night service of Slichot, when one year is about to give way to the next, Cantor Maissner and our temple singers would lead our congregation in the haunting and heartfelt prayer, Shomer Yisrael. It is a demanding prayer. We call on God by the name Guardian of Israel, and we demand divine protection. Shomer Yisrael, Shemor Sherit Yisrael, Ve'al Yovad Yisrael, Ha'omrim Shema Yisrael. O Guardian of Israel, protect the remnant of the people Israel. Let them not perish, for they are the ones who say, Shema Yisrael. Every day of his life, Cantor Maissner made himself a strong link in the chain of the Jewish people, the Shalshelet Hadorot. And in this way, he himself was a Shomer Yisrael, a guardian and protector and preserver of the Jewish people.
Israel, ve'al yovad Yisrael, omrim Shema Yisrael.
Shomer Yisrael, Shemor Sherit Yisrael, ve'al yovad Yisrael, omerim Shema Yisrael. Shomer koyechad, Shemor sherit amechad, ve'al yovad koyechad, am yachadim shimcha, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad.
Shomer koyechad, Shemor sherit amechad, ve'al yovad koyechad, am yachadim shimcha, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Shomer
Yisrael, Shemor sherit Yisrael, ve'al yovad Yisrael, ha'omrim Shema Yisrael.
Our Rabbi Emeritus, Rabbi John Moskowitz, led this congregation together with Cantor Maissner for more than a quarter of a century.
Benny, who, as you would have known, had many accidents, often on the ski slope. So when I walk with a cane because of a fall that I had a couple of years ago, Benny would have recognized me, and I him. And so I stand before all of you, especially you, Benny's family, in awe and in love, and in solidarity. The psalmist teaches, Kol hanachalim holchim el hayam, v'hayam enenu maleh. Every river runs into the sea, but the sea is never full. To which the Talmud adds, and every river runs its own course. Benny Maissner's life has run its course, and we are devastated. We wanted, we needed, we deserved more of Benny, and he wanted more. More years, more music, more of his family and his friends. But we are also grateful. Benny Maissner's life and ways and rhythms coursed through us, changed us, charmed us, enlarged us, and yes, on occasion, aggravated us. But we are grateful for his huge heart and his abundant talents. Because you see, Benny Maissner always did things his way, and invariably with panache, with purpose, and with passion. Panache, purpose, passion, that was Benny. Those are contradictory drives and qualities you see, and Benny was a man of great contradictions. Charming, inevitable, unpredictable, but always charming. Benny was a crossover. He served a Reform synagogue, obviously, but he wasn't Reform, though on occasion he'd say he was, but we knew that he wasn't. And that was okay. But neither was Benny Orthodox, though he was frum in his head, and especially so in his gut. And speaking of crossovers, our dear Benny was an Israeli, an American, a Canadian, all of those and more. Once, about 7 or 8 years ago, Benny and I were hanging on the beach in Tel Aviv, not far from where he had grown up, and he said, let's go, I want to show you where I grew up. So he took me to his apartment, not to the actual apartment, but to the building, just a couple of blocks from the beach where he'd grown up in Tel Aviv. And it was clear to me as we were in his apartment building that while Tel Aviv was hugely vibrant in a way he had not been when he was a child, he had outgrown that life. He had actually taken it with him. Once again, the Talmud. Every river runs its own course, to which we can add every cantor sings his own song, and in the case of Benny Maissner, his life was his song, and that song coursed through the river of his life and filled us, really filled us, with awe for Benny's talent, love for his soul, that soul of souls that will outlive all of us. Just as the sea is never full, so too will our souls be as full as they were, never be as full as they were, when Benny's presence filled us, challenged us, claimed us. Benny's soul will always be entwined with our souls. Finally, just this. When I would call Benny up to chant Torah, it was always like this. לקריאת התורה תעמוד החזן הטוב ביותר. I claim for him what he would have claimed for himself, but it was easier for me to say it. He was the best. Simon, my friend, and other cantorial friends here, apologies. So, Likrat HaTorah Hechazan HaTov Beyoter Benjamin Ze'ev Ben Yitzhak HaLevi V'Rivka Chaya. And on occasion, on purpose, I'd leave something off of his full name. I was teasing him. I was testing him. I wanted to see if he would catch it. He always did, every single time. Because, among other things, Benny had a gift for attention. You may have thought that he didn't, but he really did. He saw everything, and he saw everyone. And everyone's pain became his pain. And everyone's triumphs, especially his family, you, his family, they were Benny's triumphs. So now what Benny did is ours to do. The great, great river of Benjamin Ze'ev Maissner's life may have run its course, but we will never forget Benny, not ever. I always called Benny Maissner Benjo. So I'll sign off by simply saying, as I did sometimes, love you, Benjo. Love you. Thank you.
And now to share some words on behalf of the family. First, we'll hear from Rivka, and then from Mia and Liel.
I stand here before you today with a shattered heart for the loss of our dear Abba. Abba, you are the soul of our family. Much like how you elevated this holy congregation's prayers with your angelic voice and spiritual literacy, you filled our lives and our home to the brim with light, Yiddishkeit, and unmatched love of life. You didn't waste a minute and lived life to its fullest potential, even when you faced the most difficult and unfair challenges. It's so hard to imagine a world without you, and it is going to take us time to process just how deep our pain is. When I look out into the sanctuary, I can see that you all share in our pain with the loss of your beloved Cantor, mentor, friend, and colleague. And I want you to know that we feel your pain too. We know he did not want to leave us. He had so much more to do and share with the world, and so much more love to give. And yet, we are here without his angelic voice to comfort and guide us in our time of need. So we will lift each other up as Abba taught us how to do, through music, through community and tradition, and through his limitless love of life. We will look for the blessings and gratitude in who he was and how lucky we are that he was ours. Abba, we will carry you with us forever. At his core, Abba was a mix of two worlds. He blended and deeply respected both his traditional B'nai Akiva roots with his inspiration from modern progressive Judaism. He lived this way in his daily physical, religious, and spiritual life. He taught us to be passionate, but also compassionate, to be intentional, but not get stuck on the details that detract from the beauty of a ritual. Most importantly, he taught us to show up for our own desired observances, no matter where they landed on the spectrum, and to be proud members of Klal Yisrael. Growing up, we were known to have a famous Abba in town, but also a fun-loving one. Whether it was sledding, skiing in winter, or baseball in summer, Abba was always ready to do something fun. Abba made our summer family trips adventurous and memorable. And in our teenage years, he gifted my siblings and I a party house. As attending Cantor's conventions with no extended family in town to leave us with, gave us a little reckless space to be teenagers. I remember friends commenting on how respectful and responsible they would be knowing the party would be at the Cantor's house. Abba loved any activity where he spent time with any of his family, whether it was board games, riding bikes, going for coffee, going to the beach, traveling, watching his grandchildren succeed in various hobbies and activities. He wouldn't miss the opportunity to keep up with them, swinging off a giant swing, running and jumping cannonball in the lake, or doing a TikTok dance on the dock. Abba, you were endlessly adored by your grandchildren who knew you were always up for any adventure. At 80, you were still the first one in the room to say, "What's the next activity?" You accomplished more in a day than most in a week. Even in retirement, you had a busier schedule than any one of us. And when your brave, strong body became too frail, I looked into your beautiful blue eyes, and I often reminded you to harness your mental and spiritual strength to sustain you. We all prayed so hard that power would work. As we grew into adult relationships with our parents, we saw and appreciated the love and respect they shared. Mommy, our pillar of strength, Abba's hope. Now is the time we say to you that Abba was the most appreciative of your love and devotion. He shared with us all the time how grateful he was of your care, especially during these past many difficult months. Your 57-year great love and partnership has been inspiring. You balanced each other out as all the best couples do. We, like you, are grateful that you and Abba had so many wonderful memories and years of adventure together. You traveled and explored the world just as you had always dreamed you could do. Now we must thank, with our deepest gratitude, Abba's devoted medical teams at Princess Margaret Hospital, Mount Sinai, Tammy Latner Palliative Care Team, and the wonderful nurses of Mount Sinai's 12 South. Thank you for helping us live in the land of hope and miracles as long as possible. And we want to thank the many profound ways that our communities and villages have shown love and support to our family during this difficult time. From our family here at Holy Blossom, Sharei Tefillah, and beyond, and all our precious friends, there are no words to express our gratitude. We are blessed by all of your love and support, whether it was a visit, a text message, or a WhatsApp prayer group that pinged 24/7 from around the globe. You all gave us so much strength to fill the cracks forming in our hearts. We are forever grateful to you. Abba, you were a true example of what a good, strong person should be. We are so lucky that for 81 glorious years, you shined as brightly as you did. Though our hearts are broken, we will never again be blessed by your hands upon our heads and your kiss upon our forehead, Erev Shabbat. We will feel your blessings in our hearts every time we say this prayer for your grandchildren, and every time we hear only your voice in our head as we sing any and every prayer. As my father left this world, I had the honor to say to him, Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash, sing to the Lord a new song. I know you will be singing it from a new place in heaven, Abba, and that you will conduct the most amazing choir of angels, and we will hear you. We will hear you because you taught us how to listen, and we will sing with you because that is the gift you have bestowed upon us forever. To our sweet Abale, Tal, Shira, and I want to say, we already miss you more than we can bear. We love you. Chalamot paz pazim zim.
Saba, you were my best friend. We had such a special connection, one I will carry with me for the rest of my life and cherish forever. I know all 6 of your grandchildren feel the same way. You were the strongest, bravest person I've ever known. I looked up to you with so much admiration and gratitude because I knew I was the luckiest girl in the world to have you as my Saba. Our time together meant everything to me. There is no one else I would rather go on bike rides with or share stories with. Those moments will never leave me, and I want you to know that I will always remember. I miss your hugs and your smile, and the way that your kind blue eyes looked at me with so much love. Being around you made everything feel okay. You lit up my world. Your spirit lives on in every memory, every story, every song. I miss you so much. One day, I'll tell my future children about you, about your strength, your kindness, your humor, even your crazy Yiddish sayings. I'll tell them how lucky I was to call you my Saba and how deeply you are loved. I love you so much.
To my Saba,
whom I love so much. Ever since I was born, I felt that we shared a very special connection. Throughout my life, I've been given so many amazing gifts, but the best of all was being able to share with you a passion for music. I cannot express in words how much I love you, how much I look up to you, appreciate you, and how much I will miss you. And although you are not physically here with us now, I know that you are here in spirit. I can still hear you clearing your throat or warming up your voice. And I can still hear the same sentences you repeatedly said to me after every one of my performances. So I'd like you to sing along with me from the Shemayim, not for the last time, but for the first. Because from now on, every time I open my mouth to sing, I will be thinking of you. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. And just as my Saba would have wanted, I would like you all to sing along with me one more time. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Thank you.
As I look out into this Kehila Kedoshah, this holy congregation, and see all of Benny's family members, his colleagues, and friends, both near and far, who have come to honor his life today, I can only really hear one thing in my head, and it's Benny's voice. And what is he saying? David, what have I done in 41 years? Nobody knows me, nobody remembers me. Well, Benny, you must have done something significant in those years, something that has brought everyone here together today. I first met Benny when I was 18 years old. I walked into his office and told him that I wanted to study Nusach. Benny, you asked me to sing something for you. You listened, told me I wasn't so good. You took me under your wing and said you could teach me something. In addition to our study time, we also enjoyed social time together. Bike rides, walks on the Beltline, coffees at Second Cup. You would always get a cappuccino and a tuna wrap. You would also talk to me about different aspects of the Cantorate. Things like pastoral work, board meetings, and everything. And I remember distinctly you talking about your retirement. Let's see, you retired in 2020, but I think you first began negotiating your retirement around 2002. You used to say to me, David, I will work until 2010, 2011, maybe 2012. And year after year, that last digit just seemed to keep going up and up. In those years, I remember thinking to myself, even if one day I was interested in the senior cantor position at Holy Blossom, it would never actually materialize, seeing as you were probably going to retire after me. I am so grateful that you were there for me in so many important moments in my life. My wedding, my senior recital at Cantorial School, my installation at previous pulpits, my son Joel's first Canadian Opera Company performance, but nothing compares to the time that we spent together this past Thursday in your hospital room. You were fairly lucid during that time. We shared some meaningful, albeit short, conversations as you gently close your eyes from time to time. Like always, you asked me about my parents, let me know what you like or didn't like about last week's Shabbat morning service, and even asked me to send you the new music. In some of the quieter moments, I began reading Psalms, praying for your well-being. But after 5 or 10 minutes, something just didn't quite feel right to me. I said to myself, this isn't what God needs to hear at this moment. Instead, God needs to hear the voice of a sweet singer of Israel. And so I picked up my phone and went to your website. Yes, Benny, we all know you have a website with over 800 of your recordings and performances throughout your glorious career. I scrolled down the list to one of my favorite albums of yours, entitled The Song of My Life. I started to play the track of you singing Hashir Shehalevi'im, the song of the Levites. You opened your eyes, but did not say much. But what I can tell you is that if there was ever a master class in the cantorial arts, both God and I had front row seats. If one could paint a picture of the Psalms with musical notes on the page, you were the Chagall. Your art truly stood out, and each one of us here today has been enriched by your God-given gifts, the ones that you were granted and so generously shared with all of us. And for that, we are so blessed and so grateful. Benny, you yourself were a Levite, chanting the songs of your people from the days of the temple in Jerusalem to the liturgical and musical experiences of today. And during these 3 weeks, as we get closer to Tisha B'Av and mourn the destruction of the temple, we know that you were always rooted in your ancestral land of Eretz Yisrael. When it cried, you cried. When it knew joy, you danced. And when it was at peace, you were content. And so I ask some of Benny's dear colleagues now to join me on the bima. And we will sing together in a special nod to Psalm 122, composed by our dear friend and colleague, Cantor Charles Osborne, who will lead us. The words of this song comfort us as we pray for the peace of Jerusalem and your everlasting soul. Sha'alu shalom Yerushalayim, yishlavo havayich. Pray for the well-being of Jerusalem. May those who love you be at peace.
Yasher Koach, Chazanim, thank you for that gift. Benny loved you. Our calendar is set to the 3 weeks between the 17th of Tammuz and Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, when we remember the destruction of the first and second temples of Jerusalem. The Talmudic sages ask, during the Second Temple period, people studied Torah and observed mitzvot and extended kind acts of gemilut chasadim. So why was the Second Temple destroyed? And the answer comes, Jerusalem was destroyed mipnei shehayta bo sinat chinam. It was destroyed on account of sinat chinam, the baseless hatred that festered internally there among the Jewish people. Centuries later, Rav Kook, the chief rabbi of pre-state Israel, reflects on this Talmudic category of sinat chinam, baseless hatred among the Jewish people, and writes in his Orot HaKodesh, if we were destroyed through sinat chinam, and the world was destroyed along with us, then there is only one way to come back from that destruction, and only one way to be rebuilt as a people, and only one way for the world, therefore, to be rebuilt along with us, and that is through its opposite, ahavat chinam, unconditional love. Cantor Benny Maissner understood the power of ahavat chinam. His life was a shirat ahava. That, in fact, was the title of one of his favorite compositions. He wrote, Shirat Ahava, once again, the morning stars appear singing a song of love to you. Once again, angels sing holiness to you. Once again, souls sing of yearning to you. And once again, grass sings its longing to you, O God. Benny walked through the world and throughout his lifetime with boundless and boundaryless love for the Jewish people. He was a Jewish boundary crosser, and simply by being his entirely unique and authentic self, he rebuilt and reunited the Jewish people. In the words of Rav Kook, V'ha'olam imanu yibaneh al yedei ahavat chinam, Cantor Maissner helped to build the world through his unconditional love. How did he do it? He did it by being an Ivri, like Avraham Avinu. Abraham was called a Hebrew, not only because of the language he spoke, but because Ivri means one who crosses over. Abraham was a river crosser, a culture crosser, and so was Benny. First, geographically, Benny was European, he was Israeli, he was North American. His ability to absorb the traits of each of these identities and languages and cultures is rare and made him such an interesting person. No matter where he went in the world, he was both familiar and unfamiliar, at home and not entirely at home, fluent in the language but with a hard-to-place accent. When Benny came of age, he proudly wore the uniform of a soldier of Israel and ascended Mount Gilboa. And in the aftermath of October 7th, from the far reaches of his home in Canada, Benny crossed over the ocean with Shira at his side to put on once again the Tzahal uniform and serve as part of the army of volunteers who would care for his country and for his people at risk. Benny could not have known then that this trip to Israel would be his last, that it would be such an important bookend to a life of a man who lived most of his years in the diaspora, but never surrendered his identity as a soldier of Israel. The second way that Benny was a border crosser was between the worlds of Jewish practice. Benny was Orthodox and conservative and Reform. And sometimes this was hard for him. Sometimes this was a lonely way to go. Benny Maissner refused to pick just one world, one Jewish world, because he truly loved them all unconditionally. He often said, this B'nai Akiva boy wants to play his fiddle in shul, meaning he never rejected the tradition of his youth. It was in his bones. He only wished to layer onto it the Jewish art music that he came to appreciate through his uncle, Cantor Israel Alter. Benny was drawn to the creativity that liberal Judaism embraced and encouraged, and without a doubt, Holy Blossom Temple is the congregation that it is because of how Cantor Maissner and his many rabbinic partners, Rabbi Plaut, Rabbi Fields, Rabbi Marmer, Rabbi Moskowitz, shaped it together. Our unique expression of Reform Judaism here, traditional and innovative, Hebrew-loving and Zionist, creative and committed to Klal Yisrael, the totality of the Jewish people, is absolutely the result of Cantor Maissner's collaboration with his rabbinic colleagues, who became true friends. The third way that Benny was a boundary crosser was through the continuum of Jewish time, and I know you know what I'm talking about. Chazan Maissner was a human repository of Jewish sounds from throughout the ages. In one single service, he would seamlessly weave together ancient chants and old world davening together with high art music from the Jewish Renaissance and from the era of classical Reform Judaism, together with contemporary compositions from Israel and North America, and even some of his own. He was the treasure trove. And he would open his mouth, and he would open his heart, and he would open his neshama to share these musical gems of all shapes and sizes and weights and worths with us. Sometimes he did this effortlessly, and sometimes with great skill and meticulous planning, but always generously and with enthusiasm. And then he would go one step further. Cantor Maissner would teach us how to make this music our own, how to make this Shirat Ahava our own. He would say to us, you know it. Even if you don't think you know the melody yet, you know it. Your neshama knows it. So just sing a little lai-lai with me, and the melody will come, and the words will follow. And he was right. As the masterful Shliach Tzibur, Cantor Maissner not only led us in prayer, he helped us to become more prayerful people ourselves. I know this is true because over the course of our 26 years together, whether I had the privilege of sitting with the congregation or the privilege of standing here shoulder to shoulder with him on the bima, I know that I am a more prayerful person because Cantor Maissner taught me how. Thanks to Benny's God-given energy, he could not sit still. This led to a very productive life. He traveled the world with hope, jumping from conference to conference, from continent to continent. He traveled with congregants to Israel many times, and also to European countries with remnant Jewish communities. He traveled with temple singers to give concerts in places from China to Bulgaria to Germany. And that final country, which was the country of his family's heritage, Germany awarded Cantor Maissner the Cross of the Order of Merit for reconciliation between German Christians and Jews and for preserving the Jewish musical heritage of Germany. This is Germany's highest civil honor. Everyone knows that Benny was a cantor's cantor, a chazan's chazan. He served among the leadership of the Reform Movement's American Conference of Cantors and the Conservative Movement's Cantors Assembly. He taught in the cantorial schools in New York City, Jerusalem, and Germany. Generations of cantors have learned at his feet, have sung in his choirs, have taken inspiration from his singular example. For decades, I saw cantorial students come and go from Benny's office. They would walk up the steps with trepidation. They would knock tentatively at the door. But when I saw them leave, sometimes more than an hour later, they left their lesson feeling challenged and charged, feeling like they were a part of something important and something enduring. In his retirement, with significant support from Holy Blossom Temple, Benny painstakingly prepared a tremendous cantorial archive, which was just 2 months ago formally received by the National Library of Israel. Thanks to his ambition, and thanks to his vision, and thanks to the many who supported him, you know who you are. The collection of Cantor Maissner's own works, as well as the Holy Blossom Temple's collection of cantorial and choral music, which predated his arrival, is now accessible to Chazanim and Jewish ethnomusicologists worldwide. This was the capstone project of his lifetime and is a magnificent reflection of his love for the state of Israel and for global Jewry. And finally, I want to call attention to Benny the Jew. The Holy Blossom Temple community and the broader Jewish community know Cantor Maissner as a larger-than-life leader whose influences reach far and wide. But we also know him as the one who showed up. Every Shabbat, every Yom Tov, he was there. He was there for you. And so today, you show up for him. And before the service, our past presidents and representatives of the temple leadership stood at his casket to show him the kavod he earned over more than 4 decades of service to this sacred congregation. Cantor Maissner showed up for every B'nai Mitzvah student. Many are here today. At the rehearsals, he would build up your confidence and tell you that you could do it. And he showed up for every nervous wedding couple to reassure them under the chuppah. And he showed up for every shiva to comfort every mourner uniquely. He would show up for every baby naming. He would show up at the graveside and at the side of the sickbed, choosing just the right word, just the right soft melody to bring the Shekhinah into the room. Cantor Maissner's Judaism was not only public and communal, it was also private and deeply personal. With pride, he lifted his grandfather's silver Kiddush cup, which originally came as an engraved gift from the Bikur Cholim Society in Germany. Just as his grandfather quietly went about the mitzvah of visiting the sick, so did Benny. Every Shabbat afternoon on his way home from Holy Blossom, he would stop at Baycrest to bring a little Shabbos light to congregants and friends who lived there. Not with any spotlight, no sound amplification, just the mitzvah itself. It must be said, this too was Benny Maissner, and this too is deserving of our admiration and our emulation. We will remember him hitting the high notes in this sanctuary. We will remember him blowing the shofar from the top step at the Aron HaKodesh at the end of Ne'ilah. We will remember him in his white robes, leading us in the grand Shehachiyanu to thank God for the gift of life. But let us remember, too, the countless quiet moments of connection and care that we received from him. We love him for those as well. A final teaching from Pirkei Avot about what Rav Kook called Ahavat Chinam, baseless love, love without bound or boundary. There it is written, Kol ahava shehi tluya b'davar, batel davar, b'tela ahava. All love that depends on something transient, when that something else ends, the love ends too. V'she'ena tluya b'davar, eina b'tela le'olam. But the kind of love that does not depend on anything else, this will never end. Benny's love for his family was eina tluya b'davar. It was unconditional and boundless. And so even though he is gone from this world, his love for you is unending. Hope, Shira, Tal, Rivka, the love and care you showed Benny over the past 6 months was complete and life-affirming. You were with him for every step and for every breath. Your ahavat chinam, your boundless love, is what sustained him. Chazan Maissner's love for the Jewish people was also eina tluya b'davar, unlimited. And so even though he has sung his last song in this lifetime, his voice still rings in the ears of his students, his colleagues, his congregants and friends, his children and grandchildren, and so his song too endures. Binyamin Ze'ev's love of life itself was eina tluya b'davar, endless. And so even though he is no longer among the living, his neshama will be brought into eternal life, forever held by the God of all life, forever held by the one who is known as Habocher b'shirei zimra, the one who delights in endless song. Please rise.
El male rachamim shochem bameromim hametzeh menucha nechona tachat kanfei hashchina im kedoshim uteorim kezohar harakia mazhirim et nishmat hechazan Binyamin Ze'ev Ben Yitzchak Halevi v'Rivka Chaya she'alach le'olamo began Eden tehei menuchato Yastirehu beseter kinafav leolamim v'yitzror b'yitzror ha'chaim et nishmato Adonai hu nachalato וינוח בשלום על משכבו ונאמר אמן.
Compassionate God, eternal Spirit of the universe, grant perfect rest in your sheltering presence to Benjamin Ze'ev Maissner, who has entered eternity. O God of mercy, let him find refuge in the shadow of your wings, and let his soul be bound up in the bond of life everlasting. God is his inheritance. May he rest in peace. And together we say, Amen. We invite the pallbearers now to come forward. And after the family makes their way, we invite all of the Klei Kodesh, all of the cantors and rabbis who are here today to please follow in the recessional, and then the congregation will follow.